Get everything opened up here, and we'll start the procedure.
And for the record, in terms of a pain scale, if you can compare it to something.
Probably more like a bee sting.
The latest office innovation is a microchip implanted in the skin.
This is the first American company to ever try this.
So what are they tracking, and would you say yes if your boss asked you to do the same?
So if my employer wanted to microchip...
Alright, Shalom, y'all. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Shemiyah, Shabbat, Shem, Hawakakadesh, Bakatham, the Barnum Shapas, has a good milestone, well, peace, says, hey, so for like Israel, Shalom. It's going to be a quick impromptu, it's going to be a quick video, so, about the MOTB, so, let's get into it.
Me, as if I was their puppy, I would have a huge problem with it, and I would probably quit.
You could argue that the government is tracking you everywhere you go, but they are already with your phones.
Yeah, it just seems a bit permanent. If you already have an Apple Watch that's you're wearing around, at least you can take that off at some point. Not something I would do.
I think it's a great idea, and I think it would make it all a lot easier. I just think that you have to back it up with maybe some doctors saying it's good for your health, and then I think I would do it.
3 Square Market is a company working on one of the biotech advances at the forefront, implantable RFID or radio frequency ID microchips. The tech has been around for decades, used to track pets, packages, and livestock, but now the Wisconsin-based company is trying to make the implants mainstream. Even with all the risks and unknowns associated with this technology, I was really curious what it'd be like to have an implant. So I traveled to Wisconsin to get chipped, thinking, what's the worst that could happen? The chip is coming out at the end of the day. And the RFID chip is already inside there.
Yes.
And it's a little bit larger than a grain of rice.
Correct.
Jasmine rice, I think.
Basmati.
That's Andy Whitehead, better known as Gonzo. He's a local body piercer with 17 years of experience who was brought in to implant the microchips. I was slightly nervous about having the microchip inserted inside my body, given the size of the needle, and also nervous about what it could potentially mean for me, but here we go.
Just take a nice big deep breath in, and exhale, release. There we go.
It's in there.
It's in there. Pretty quick and easy.
I feel like a cyborg.
Here you go, you're a proud member now.
Indeed, part of the club. Just like that, I was part of a small group of people on Earth pushing the boundaries of what it means to be human. And within minutes, I was meeting with their tech team to get my chip programmed. I guess what you're saying, to sort of put it in layman's terms, if I wouldn't need to take this out until we live in that futuristic world where everything's wireless, cash is gone, autonomous vehicles take us everywhere, and I'm just beeping my way through my day.
Really, probably you'd never have to take it out, and this is what we think is going to propel us into that next stage in life, the cashless society like they're doing overseas already. This would facilitate that because you wouldn't need to carry any cards or cash. Everything would literally be stored on the chip.
There is no GPS tracker in the chip, which was really good to know. And the applications for it were actually pretty sweet. I could now open doors, fire off texts, forget all of my passwords, and even make credit card payments. I started to wonder, is it worth getting this thing removed?
And what I'll do is I'll set yours up so that I can make a phone call off of it right now.
Success. Stuck in this internal debate about whether to keep the chip, I thought I'd talk to some employees to get their take. One who has the chip and another who opted out.
You know, I wasn't opposed to it, but they had so many people that wanted the chip that I felt I would just wait for a few months and see how everybody reacted to it, if anybody got sick from it, if anybody got infections, you know, any of that stuff. And it's everybody that has gotten one has been just doing just fine on it.
You got chipped on your very first day. I guess the number one question I have is why? Like, why did you feel you had to do it besides seeing everyone else?
So I found out through social media that the company that I was moving from Colorado to come to Wisconsin to work was optionally microchipping their employees. It sounds really futuristic and bizarre. And at first I wasn't gonna do it.
And how much information did you have? Did you know that you could open doors? Sure, but how much information do you have about the chip in general? All of the questions that the news were asking, all the questions the employees were asking, all the right questions, the nitty-gritty questions were there. So I knew what it was made of, I knew what it could do, what it could do in the future. I was well educated before getting a microchip in my hand. They offered to take it out at the end of the day, and I was like, absolutely don't want this thing in my body longer than it needs to be. And I'm kind of having second thoughts. I think it might be fun to play around with it some more. I don't know, I'm having some some thoughts, some inner conflicts about whether to keep it in or take it out. Upon application, there's a risk of infection, but...
And the other thing I want to get into is like weeks to month ago, like I had a vision of, I was in the Norco. It was like a stores, but it was like right where my grandma lives. I'm not gonna say the address, but it was in the Norco, and it was like a big warehouse at nighttime. So I went inside of it. So when I stepped inside the big warehouse, like a military warehouse, it was completely dark. On the left, like when you step inside of it, on the left side is a red light. On the right side, it's like dark black. And I see these soldiers just standing there, standing up straight, standing firm in the formation. And when they look at me, when they look behind at me, they ran towards me, man. I just got out, Then I saw Brother Rakah, the young Zabulon Knight brother from Washington D.C. camp. Shalom, brother. Yahweh Shemel Shabrakatah. We was just looking for something that'll help get us to the day of trouble, man. It was like the building was blown to pieces and all that, and it was terrible. It was terrifying, but then it was so confusing because like in the first beginning stage of the dream I had was when I was like in the store or something like that, like a snack shop. But then people were in the line, you know what I'm saying? So, and I walked out. It was like completely like nighttime. It was like a sunset, you know what I'm saying? So, in the outside sunset, to me, it represents like a nighttime, as the scripture said, that Jacob troubles, that the Lord should come as a thief at night, because that precept means you're not gonna know, like if a thief breaks in your house at nighttime, you're not gonna know when or how they're gonna do it. So that video you just saw, that's the time we're coming into. And it's being public. It's going out in public, and we're in those times. So, and this is what Esau gonna do. Some brothers gonna have to be martyrs for this truth. If the Lord puts the spirit on me to become a martyr, so be it. If the Lord puts the spirit on you to become a martyr, so be it. Okay. You gotta stay strong in the spirit. You gotta stay focused. You gotta increase that knowledge more. You gotta do more works. You gotta exhort yourself daily on the highways and byways. Do sit downs. You gotta do more and more and more to become an expert in the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And this is what it's coming to, the guillotine. Let me get that precept. Revelations 20. I'll start at 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them. The judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded, which is the martyrs, the elect. Some of the elect is going to have to become martyrs when the time comes. For the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received mark upon their foreheads or in their hand, which is the microchip implants. And they live and reign with Hamashiach 1,000 years. So the elect, man, 1 to 44,000. Let me show you who the elect are. Now, the question is, who are the elect? We're going to get into it. Hold on, Slakia. The Israelites. You got numerous precepts telling you constantly that Israel should be saved only and only Israel. So Revelation 7:4. And I heard the number which of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all tribes of the children of Israel. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Nephtali We'll seal 12,000 of the tribe of Manasseh. We'll seal 12,000 of the tribe of Simeon. We'll seal 12,000 of the tribe of Levi. We'll seal 12,000 of the tribe of Issachar. We'll seal 12,000 of the tribe of Zebulun. We'll seal 12,000 of the tribe of Joseph. We'll seal 12,000 of the tribe of Benjamin. We'll seal 12,000. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man can number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne, before the Lamb, which is Yahweh Mashiach, clothed with bright robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb, Yahweh Mashiach. And all the angels stood around about the throne and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces and worshipped Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, saying, Amen, blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our power forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence they came? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of power, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the light on them or any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto fountains, living fountains of water, and power shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. So the elect, man, somebody's gonna be tearing up happily, because they've been scarcely saved in the last days because of their endurance. So if you're able to go through hell, teach, and go through more hell, and give all praises and do the works, and if you're able to sacrifice your life for this truth, then you're fit to become a god. So that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I'm going to go a little bit further, so I'm going to go back to the video.
Beyond that, are there any downsides to having an RFID chip implanted anywhere in your body?
See that hand right there?
Conflicts about whether to keep it in or take it out. Upon application, there's a risk of infection, but beyond that, are there any downsides to having an RFID chip implanted?
See those hands right there?
This is an approved device. There's been nothing that has come out since 2004 that has done anything to change the FDA's stance on it.
Well, for one thing, I'm not sure it's
about whether to keep.
This is an approved device.
I'm not gonna go back.
There's been nothing that has come out since 2004 that has done anything to change.
See, this dude in the black outfit, he got chipped. He took the mark of the beast, so he's marked for death. If you take that mark, man, if you take that microchip implant, man, you're dead. You're finished. You're done. It don't matter if you cut your arm off, you cut your hand off, you took the chip out, you took the mark, so you're marked for death. It don't matter how many precepts or the true names of the Lord and the prayers. No, you're marked for death. So don't take that at any cost or under any circumstances. Don't take it. Period.
The FDA's stance on it.
Well, for one thing, I'm not sure it's been conclusive whether or not these are safe for the human body. I know the FDA approved them years and years ago, but I think long term is sort of when we find these things out.
That's Michelle Demoy. She researches how new technology could impact personal privacy. Along with health complications, I was also concerned about the security of the chip itself. Just how safe was my personal information?
And you can even point that switch in your body, of course.
You can watch the video for yourself. It's called The Day I Got Microchip by Fast Company, the YouTube channel. You can watch the video by yourself, but you get the idea of what's going on. See, even in the comment section, people keep saying Jesus Christ, but we know that's not the name of the Messiah, and that's not the true name of Messiah, but they're understanding that it's the mark of the beast, So Hey, we're coming into those times, man. In order for World War III and Jacob's Trouble to pop off, is that the MOTB has to be made mandatory. And it's getting very close and closer, man. It's closer than we can think of. So remember that. So thought maybe I could do this quick edification. So with that, yeah, call her lawyer. Peace, say, so for like visual. Shalom.